Yes, after pushing Iran all the way, the Pararoos are back in action for their second IFCPF World Cup game against the United States of America. Hello and welcome to the MyFootball YouTube channel for our broadcast of this Group C encounter between two nations looking for their first win of the tournament, coming to you live from Football Salou Sports Centre in Spain. My name is Chris Carulli, with you once again in commentary, alongside two legends who have been in this exact position that the boys are today, Chris Pyne and Matt Hearne. You'll hear from them very shortly. This is a huge game for Australia with a top 8 spot up for grabs. We'll quickly run you through the lineups with kickoff not far away. The Pararoos make 3 changes to the side that fell 2-0 to Iran. They start with Cosimo Cirillo in goals, Alessandro La Vegeta and Jeremy Boyce at the back, Daniel Campbell in the centre of midfield with a front three of Connor Bunce, Benny Roach and Augustine Murphy. US, on the other hand, scored 2 late goals to draw 2-2 with Iran. They've made a couple of changes themselves from that last encounter. Sean Boyle starts between the sticks with Josh Brunei, Drew Bramer and John Sullivan in defence, Adam Ballou and Ben Linden in the middle of the park, and a young striker, one to watch, Shea Hammond up top. So that's how both teams start. We're not long away from kickoff now. Thanks again for joining us. As we prepare to get started, we'll introduce Chris Pyne, a legend of the Pararoos who's been there right from the start, only retired a couple of years ago. Pyne, thanks for joining us. What are your thoughts ahead of this game?
Well, I said it last game. I said, well, firstly, Chris, it's fantastic to be here, and it's fantastic to be able to call this game as you know, this is a fairly new thing for the Pararoos. The Pararoos have, you know, it's always been live streamed, but never been able to be, you know, called and be so accessible. So this is a big step for the Pararoos, but I think, again, as I said, big step last time, but I say big step tonight. I can smell an upset. A couple of changes in our lineup, but and a couple of changes to their lineup. So we'll see. We'll see how they come to fruition.
Yeah, indeed. It's a different prospect, this game. Matty, speaking off air before, you've mentioned it's likely to be a bit of a different kind of game. America, a bit more physical.
Yeah. So America, in comparison to Iran, who tend to be really, really patient with their build-up play, like to get a lot of touches on the ball, very, very skillful individually as footballers. Whereas I think the US are a much more aggressive team, much more physical team, playing into a lot of their individual strengths athletically and physically as a team. They tend to be much more aggressive in attack and defense, as we see there. Making a very, very early attack at goal. They will be more physical today than Iran were. And yeah, they will be more physical today than Iran were. And I think it'll be a really, really good test for our side today. A lot of youth in the team. And it should be really interesting to see how the boys go.
Indeed, of course, Australia missing a bit of experience, in particular Captain David Barber, the legendary captain of the Pararoos. He started the first game, but only lasted a couple of minutes, unfortunately, and isn't quite up to making the side this time around. Obviously, a bit of a loss for the Pararoos, but still holding out hope that he may return later in the tournament. So this is the final group game for the Pararoos, but at least another 2 games guaranteed as they move forward in the tournament. The winner of this game will end up in the top 8, which would be huge for Australia. Here's America, though, looking to create their first chance of the game. It's been turned over, though, to Campbell. Maybe a bit of room on the break for Australia. Can they strike early as the ball comes in? A little too much on it, but bright signs early, Pyne, yet again.
Expect goals here, Chris. honestly expect goals. I think with the way that the America play, America want to get this sealed up very very early. That would have been in their game plan, so they'll look to push a lot early. So you just see a couple of, you know, a couple of misdirected runs there. Not really communicating. So I think now is the time that that the Pararoos, and especially with the youth there of Augustine and the a bit of the older head in Benny Roach. I think now in the first 10 minutes of this match is where we can really punish.
Although Australia do have to be careful here as America have a chance, but it's blocked well by Campbell. It was a dangerous ball out of the back, almost across the face of goal, but good scrambling defence from the young Aussie. You can see Benny Roach there wearing the captain's armband. He's traditionally vice-captain over the last few years, and one of those players do want to step up. He's one of the senior players in this starting 11. Him being 33 years of age, the oldest by a few years. Not sure if he'd love me mentioning that, but that's all right. Still plenty of years to go in his career. We've seen
Chris,
players
I can remember him as a young 15-year-old. So to hear 33 just puts the doubters in my mind about how old I actually am.
There you go. And here's a chance for Australia on the break. The keeper's out for America, and Boyle had to get there, which he did. Might be a chance for a quick restart though, as Roach looks to shake off his man. Goes to ground, but no foul given. Referee today of English origin, Scott Henry, same man who officiated Australia's 2-0 loss to Iran. Let's see what America can do with this attack down the right. Strong defence again from Campbell. He's been everywhere so far. Australia do look to get the ball clear and win the free kick. There's that physicality you were talking about pre-game, Matty.
Yeah, they're bringing it early. They're bringing it early, and I don't really think it needs saying that the US and Australia are pretty heated rivals. We've had a few back and forths over the years. For those of us who watched the documentary last night will have seen that our opening game in that Argentina tournament was against the United States, and that certainly didn't go the way we planned it to on that occasion. So a bit of bragging rights potentially up for grabs here, and it's good to see our young guns getting stuck in early.
Yes, the Pararoos were blown away early in that game. It's competitive so far though, still no score as we approach the 5-minute mark, and here's a long throw in. Of course, no Barber long throws, but still have that option at their disposal. Australia now a bit of room on the break for Linden to cut inside, and hasn't been dealt with, but the touch gathered well by Cirillo.
We will see that from the United States. There's Sean Boyle, I believe it is, between the sticks.
And as Benny Roach goes for goal, there was a second effort as well that came from Murphy. Probably Australia's best chance of the game so far.
Yes, just as I was saying before that, Sean Boyle, probably one of the more athletic goalkeepers that you're likely to see at this tournament. A lot of goalkeepers in CP football will be the...
And there was a chance. The header at the back post. 2 goes at goal in quick succession for the Pararoos. It was an unbelievable release, and as you say, Pyne, what a ball that was.
Put it on a plate, Sandro.
Alessandro Lavagetta, one of the inclusions in this game, and almost making his mark immediately. It's been a bright few minutes as Benny Roach whips in this corner towards the back post. The chance still on, perhaps, and maybe now an opportunity for Australia to enjoy a bit of possession in attack, and a contested ball. They really are getting stuck in early here.
it's good, Chris. I like it. Because we're used to being bossed by the Americans, and now we're now, we're sort of physically bossing the Americans. So no, very very good signs at the moment. We just got to keep our heads.
And that's what Australia will need to do here as America look to push forward. Benny Roach gets a foot in. Don't take your eyes off this one for a second. It's been an exciting start at the Football Salou Sports Centre. Plenty at stake as this ball is rolled in. Australia do get the ball clear and it's straight to the feet of Bunce, who can turn and drive at the American defence.
He
might just go himself. It's Bunce goes for goal and squeezes it in. And the Pararoos have broke their duck for the IFCPF World Cup. That lethal left boot of Connor Bunce on the break. What a goal that was.
That is huge from him. And, for those of us who've been around Connor Bunce for a while, will know that once he gets open space like that and one-on-one with the keeper, he does not make mistakes in front of goal. Absolutely brilliant from him there.
I've been keeper. I've kept him WA versus New South Wales, and yeah, you don't want to be on the receiving end of one of his shots. He has an absolute cannon. That is a great start from Australia.
Ahead of the tournament, Kai Lammett described to me, he said he's never seen anyone hit a ball harder in CP football than Connor Bunce can. He scored a brace last time the Pararoos played at home, and that was the first goal for Australia since 2019. And you could just see how much that meant to the squad. Great scenes of celebration. The job's, though, still far from done as America look to strike back quickly. There might be a shot from long range, and it's parried out and tucked home. And the United States do find that instant reply. Again, a tough one for the Pararoos to suffer just after the elation of opening the scoring. They've been reeled back in, and after 9 minutes in Salou, it's 1-1.
I believe that was number 14 there as well, Shea Hammond for the United States, who's a call-up from the last game against Iran. Real poacher in front of goal. He's going to get to any spilled ball there, so it's really unfortunate to see that from young Cozzy. And hopefully he doesn't let it get to him too much and keeps composed as the game moves forward.
You said there'd be goals in this, Pyne, and there has. It's a tough one for the goalkeeper there.
I can't say I don't read games, but no, this could be anything here today. This honestly could be anything.
There's a bit of confusion. Australia will have a throw-in in a pretty good position and a chance to go again. Benny Roach on the right will opt to roll this one into the feet of Campbell. It's back with Roach. Cannon's off the defender. Campbell has just about cleaned up well, but America will come forward again as they pursue their second. Lyndon just running out of a bit of room, but he's done enough. In fact, he hasn't done enough to win the corner. Good defending there from Australia. It's interesting to see where this game goes next. Both teams have had success on the break, and still reflecting on that goal from Connor Bunce, he pretty much took it from his own half, didn't he, Matty?
Yeah, and it's as we were saying in the Iran game, when some of these young up and coming players, once they get a sight for goal and get their foot on the ball, they have the confidence to drive forward, and it's really promising to see. Credit to the run there from Benny Roach as well. Should the option have been the one that Buncey had gone for, a really solid counter attack there from Australia and expertly slotted home.
Indeed.
America, obviously. Sorry, Chris.
That ball comes in. That's all good. We just I'm sure you're not too upset to see that attack fizzle out.
I was just saying that America obviously hadn't done their homework on Connor Bunce, because you don't let him cut inside on his left. You just don't.
That's for sure. Here's Campbell for Australia. He's got Benny Roach outside in a bit of room, and it's 3-on-3 for the Pararoos. Roach wants a handball, nothing doing, and America come the other way. It's Hammond looking for his second, pushing forward. Won't score a poacher's finish from there at least. Well marshalled again by Australia, who are tracking back well at the moment. What do we make of the, tactical setups of these teams? The US named 3 defenders, but it seems as though they've got 2 sitting back a lot of the time. Is that correct, Matt?
Yeah, it looks like it. You'll see Drew Bremer out here on the ball now. Really a centerpiece of the US team over the years. Looking him to hang at the back, but also to take the ball forward into space when he's got it there. He'll shoot from long range and he'll put some long balls in.
And there was a shot from long range. It was Ballou that hit it, and it actually took a deflection off his teammate Hammond on the way through. Another chance goes begging for the USA. Ranked number 6 in the world are America in CP football. So favourites on paper at least, but as Pyne said pre-game, sniffing an upset, and Australia have started well.
Absolutely, we've got them a bit rattled. They're going with the famous Christmas tree, the 3-2-1 from the back, and you see those wide players bombing on occasionally, and those 3 up front seem to be interchanging very, very well. But as we see a bit of a loose shot there by I think it was Bremer. We seem to have them rattled here, Chris.
Yeah, plenty of pot shots from long range coming through, and it's a testament to how Australia have set up. And Campbell's won it back well, and he'll go for goal at the front post. And Boyle had to tap it around the post for a corner. And there was another chance for the Pararoos.
Danny Campbell needs to start slotting them. Was that Campbell? Or I'm not even too sure.
It was Campbell at the front post. This one is lofted out, and it'll go all the way back to the corner taper. Murphy goes himself. That one a little bit easier for Boyle to deal with.
We're playing a withdrawn. We're giving them their half, which I think is interesting. In the past, we've had the forward doing the mop up work there, but they're almost giving them their 2/3, and we're sort of defending a solid block there in our third. I like that tactic.
Ready to strike on the counter like we saw with that opening goal, but of course a bit of backs to the wall defending needed. You suspect it'll get more and more nervy as this game remains close. We're just approaching the midway point of the first half in Salou. In case you're just joining us, 1-1, 2 goals in quick succession. It was Connor Bunce that opened the goal scoring for Australia before Shea Hammond struck back. Not too long after. It's been a good watch, this one so far.
Chris, where other teams have well, we're doing a drink stop here.
Yeah, it appears there has been a stoppage in play. A drinks break midway through the first half. So a chance for both teams to, reconvene. And yes, Pyne, what do you think the talk will be around the huddle here?
More of the same. I was saying before the break, before the drinks break, these teams these teams historically are used to coming out and scoring a lot of early goals, or run a lot of early goals against us, and and sort of mellowing those nerves and calming those nerves, and just let it, and then they can start playing their style of game against us. But this tournament, we don't, we seem to have to be breaking them down and breaking those and really playing with their rhythm. So I think yeah, more of the same. That's certainly what Stagger should be all about. Because we've got them really rattled. I think we're really potent down the right-hand side as well. Roachy's getting a lot of room.
And here he is on the ball, Benny Roach, who can turn and look at what's ahead of him. Plays the 1-2 and just left it behind him on that occasion. And as we see Matty, Australia just retreating straight back, almost giving the US their half. And it's been effective so far.
It has indeed. I think particularly effective as the US will look to get a lot of really penetrative balls through those lines of defence. So by us really compressing that and defending in a nice little block makes it a lot more difficult for them to be as aggressive as they'd like, getting those balls forward and hoping to cut out lines of players when we've got everyone there in pretty tight knit.
Here's America pushing forward the low strike again from long range. It was Bramer that time around. Here's Boyce forward for Roach. Looks to take on his man again. It's been positive early from the Australia skipper. And here comes Campbell. Room in the area. And it's flashed across the face. Australia go close again. And again, it's that man Campbell going for goal. He's had plenty of chances so far this tournament.
Unlucky there from Danny Campbell. Tough angle for him there. Sean Boyle closed off that angle for him there really nicely. But promising signs, seeing him get forward out of the centre of midfield there. And hopefully he'll put one away pretty soon.
Here comes Bunce, who's dropped deep, and there's just a bit of rotation down the centre. Campbell pushing up top, and that might wait and see at the moment. It does look like Daniel Campbell's drifted into that striker role, whether that's just temporary or a tactical tweak by Goran Stajic late in this first half. 10 minutes to play in Salou. We're still locked at 1-1 after Connor Bunce's opener was cancelled out. And we have our first yellow card of the game.
Did he get carded for that?
Did you catch what the challenge was, Pyne?
I did catch what the challenge was. I thought it was fairly innocuous. I thought it was a borderline penalty, but apparently, I think Boyce it was. Boyce just being a bit too overzealous with his challenge.
Described him as a little terrier, working hard at the back and just a little overzealous, according to the referee on that occasion. So a chance for the USA. Lyndon, the number 10, standing over this set piece. Australia with a man virtually on each post. And it will be Lyndon who goes for goal, and it hits that man at the far post. Well defended in the end. Bit of a nervy moment for the Pararoos. Pressure isn't over now. A set piece for the United States to deliver. It's driven in towards the front post. It's been won and won back by Blue. It's just lofted in there for Campbell to head away. We'll have another corner. A little bit of backs against the wall defending for Australia for these last few moments.
Classic Stajic defensive setup on the corners as well.
This one goes low again towards the front post, and it's been tucked in. And the USA have now turned it around after trailing to the Pararoos. They now lead, and after 22 minutes, the score is 2-1.
Seemed like a training park, a training ground operation. That one. That seemed like it was all a little bit too easy there, and just nipped in there at the front post. Caught Australian napping.
And now America are buoyed by that second goal, and they're pushing forward, looking for a third. Back with Cirillo. Matty, we saw that they were trying that front post on a couple of corners before, and that one did end up paying off. We'll leave that for a second though, as Annie Roach goes from long range and high and wide.
Yeah, they were playing that front post corner there. Tough as well, with Cosi Cirillo in goals there, and goalkeepers who are Class FT1 traditionally will have both legs impaired. So really, really tough for him to get down to those low corners and those low shots there. Tough loss there defensively, but also tough for Cosi physically in that situation as well.
Certainly is a concern, and after scoring from this exact corner, the United States have another one, and the Pararoos will certainly not want history to repeat itself. We'll see whether they try the same tactic this time, again to the front post, and took a couple of deflections. The final touch off a green and gold shirt, and the pressure from America continued.
I've rarely seen that style of corner before, but it proves to be very, very bearing fruits, if I can coin the term.
This one had a bit more flight on it than the others, but it's come out to Linden, the end of the area. America enjoying more and more possession in the closing stages of this first half. As I say that, commentators curse, it's back with Australia, at least temporarily. Bit of pressure being applied though, and the keeper had to be careful. It went from keeper to keeper, and it's back with Cirillo, but I believe that was Bunce applying the press, and it almost paid dividends. Here's Bunce again. Just looking for options on that left foot, and he switches it out towards Boyce, who can play it up the line. Campbell now, who's drifted out towards the left, and a bit of fancy footwork, assesses his options, and Baloo got in the way. Tireless work there to make the interception from Daniel Campbell.
Campbell's good for a goal here, Chris.
There's the prediction.
That's the prediction.
19 years of age, Daniel Campbell from Sydney. He's already made 15 international appearances, scoring the 3 goals, including the first against Canada back in 2019 down at Cromer Park. Pyne started between the sticks in that game. Obviously, a bit of a different experience for you, this one.
Oh, absolutely.
How are you
absolutely.
coping?
Not well, I gotta say, Chris. I feel like a 15-year-old kid about to ask his first girlfriend to dance. Very seriously, I am not comfortable here at all. But if I'm honest, it's it's sort of playing into script. It's sort of going to script now for the States. You'll see a lot more possession, a lot more passing, a lot more playing the ball around, a lot more of those danger balls in there.
And there was a chance. It was Hammond who swiveled and had a go. Another deflection and another corner. As we are now inside the last 5 minutes of this first 30. After the drinks break, there may be a little bit of time added on. Either way, Australia will really want to stay switched on here. They've already conceded one off a corner. They have plenty in the area to try and ward off this threat. It's a bit of a different set piece that time, floated towards the far stick. Dealt with well. America just keep on coming now down the right, room to deliver into the box and cleared away by Murphy. America push again. It's Sullivan now lofting one towards the goal, and as I keep on saying, it's another corner.
We're defending a bit too deep at the moment, Chris. If you notice, we're almost defending on our eight yard line, and that's and there's the lack of reaction time for poor old Cozzy in goals. He's just as they take this corner, he's got to really push them out from the back there and tell them what to do.
Australia looked to push out there, a swing and a miss, and it almost created the opportunity. The final touch off a US attacker. Maybe now a bit of reprieve for Australia. Pararoos will enjoy a spell of possession, or at least that was the intention. Just not falling their way at the moment with that turnover. America looking to punish. It's headed away by Murphy. One of the youngsters included in the lineup today. 3 changes to the side that fell 2-0 to Iran on Thursday. Here come America again, looking to extend their buffer heading into the break. The ball comes in low. It's cleared away by Murphy. Plenty of room, though, for the strike from long range. It's shielded, but it's back with America, and this one is driven in with intent. Sullivan with the effort that won another corner. In fact, referee spotted an infringement perhaps in there, or maybe final touch off an American attacker. But either way, maybe now's the chance for Australia to get their foot on the ball. As they go long, and it's a good ball in, it results in a shot on target.
Sandro's got it on a string here with his balls. The little Western Australian coming out of defence. He's putting in some quality balls.
Yeah, one of a few of the boys out there originating from the WA. I hear they had a bit of an advantage during COVID with WA's COVID situation being controlled for a bit longer. It allowed some of these boys to get some real quality training in while us on the eastern states were left locked up. Here's Campbell now. He'll want to get more involved. Had a few chances. Benny Roach tried to turn his man, but beaten to it by Brunei, the American skipper. And he's played a good ball forward that isn't brought down. We're into first half stoppage time. Matt, how do you assess how this half's gone? Actually, we'll leave that for a second. I'll come to you in a minute, Matty Hearne, but that's the score at half time. 2-1 it is after 30 minutes, with Australia opening the scoring through Connor Bunce. Unfortunately, from a Pararoos perspective, it was then turned around in pretty quick fashion. America struck back almost immediately through Hammond before finding another off the set piece. That has us where we are now. Still plenty to play, and Australia well and truly in this. The score at the break is United States 2, Australia 1. And now I will come to you, Matty Hearne. Let us know your thoughts on how that all unfolded.
Yeah, look, I think all things considered, 2-1 is a promising result for us through this first half. I think a lot of positives there. A few things that we still need to work on. I'd like to see us go back to really attacking the US down that right hand side where we had a lot of success early on in the first half. There, I think we've gone away from that a little bit just as the game sort of unfolded a little bit more. I think it'd be nice to reassess and get some more attack down that right hand side. A little bit more pressure from the boys. I'd like to see as well. Just on the US there, maybe showing them a little bit too much respect in our own half. So those are the things I'd like to see moving forward. But a confident effort from the boys in this first half, and hopefully they can build on that moving forward.
Confident indeed, Pyne. You commented late in the half that Australia were just sitting a bit deep. Do you feel like America started to show their class and almost pin the Pararoos back?
Yeah, I think we I think in a way we let them because we were so deep, and it's a real juggling act when you're playing that defensive line when you're dropping all the way back, that you drop all the way, and to be conscious that you're not dropping all the way back, and so you're giving your goalkeeper a red hot chance at some of those at some of those shots coming in. So I think that's something that the Stagich will be all over in during halftime. I also think that that they may look to make changes early on to try, and because they've got speed and they've got experience on the bench. So I think Australia will look to tactically make some changes.
Yeah, we'll have to wait and see what changes are made by Goran Stajic. But for now, let's catch up on the action from the first half in case you missed any of it. It's time to relive the goals in that first half, and we'll start with the opening goal that came courtesy of Connor Bunce, the Pararoos' first goal of the tournament. Matty, talk us through how this counter-attack unfolded.
Yeah, I think we've always had a history of being very, very strong on the counter attack, and with players up front like Benny Roach, like Connor Bunce, as that's come through, and we've caught them napping at the back. Connor Bunce doesn't make mistakes in front of goals, and he's driven his left foot through that, and I don't think there could be much better way for us to open our World Cup goal scoring campaign.
And then America did strike back. Only seconds later, it felt like. Pyne, being a goalkeeper yourself, you've had tough moments like this, I can imagine, over the years.
Yeah, listen, that's just and sorry, just watching that second goal, it almost looked like it went straight through Cozzy's legs, which is incredibly hard for a goalkeeper. As Hearne alluded to, the with the legs heavily affected, it's really hard to get down to some of them. So, second one was you can't really put it on anyone. You just got to follow your runner in there. You've just got to make sure that that he doesn't get that touch on the ball. And the first one, Cozzy's a top kid. He'll bounce back from that. He's a top kid, and I remember training with him. He pushes you and pushes you and pushes you. So he'll bounce back from that. So I don't think anyone's going to hold that against him.
Hearne, as we look ahead to the second half, we mentioned there's a likelihood to see substitutions happen. Are there any in particular you can see being made, or that you'd like to see, perhaps?
I think Taj Lynch should be on the bench for this first half. He's always going to be really, really solid for us if he gets on the park, and can really make a difference holding that midfield nice and firm, keeping some composure on the ball. I look at players like Ben Atkins on the bench as well, who's flown under the radar a little bit in these last 2 games. But Ben's been a really, really key part of our squad for a number of years now, and the experience that he would bring on the park is really invaluable. So I wouldn't be surprised if he got some park time at some stage. And we've got Connor Marsh on there as well, who started the last game against Iran and was really solid for us there. So a number of key playmakers on the bench who can really come on and make an impact for us.
And that's exactly what the Pararoos will hope to see happen. A 1-goal deficit to turn around heading into the second 30 minutes. That will be with us very shortly. So check back very soon to see the remainder of this contest. But at the break in Salou, the score is USA 2, Australia 1. Yes, welcome back to Football Salou Sports Centre for the second half of this IFCPF World Cup clash between the United States of America and Australia. The Pararoos opened the scoring in the first half, courtesy of Connor Bunce, but were reeled back in. 2 goals from the Americans have us where we are now. 2-1 at the break, and all to play for in this one. Thanks for joining us on the My Football YouTube channel. As America look to come forward early.
Oh,
Chris Carulli with you in commentary again for this game. I'm joined by 2 Pararoos, Chris Pyne and Matt Hearne. Pyne, I'll come to you first. We spoke ahead of the break and mentioned that we really would like to see an early goal. Is that how you feel the Pararoos will come away with the result?
yeah, just to calm the nerves of the young boys. See if we can get it. If we can get it, if we can get a, even a couple of early shots, not even a goal, but a couple of early shots to give us that little bit of confidence to let them know that we're in with a good show here. Then that's I think that'll set up the game.
And
Excellent
here
work
Australia.
there.
They look to do exactly that. It's Bunce who drives it across goal. And the ball bounced back off Australia's number 10, and he looks to be in a bit of discomfort. Also, Australia we've received confirmation that 2 substitutions were made at the break. One in goal with Cosimo Cirillo making way, replaced by Christian Sangers. And the other, Augustine Murphy, making way, replaced by Timothy Blouse, who is on for his World Cup debut. Hearne, you've obviously played with these boys. Blouse just 19 years of age. What do you think he'll be coming on and looking to offer?
Well, as we just saw from him there, good hustle play to cut out one of those passes from the US, and he's driven it down the sideline and put through a really nice ball there for Connor Bunce, who unfortunately couldn't finish.
There was another really nice ball. This time it was Benny Roach on his left boot that whipped that one in.
And Connor Bunce almost finishing that one off there as well.
So nearly. So a tactical tweak. We saw Benny Roach over on that wing. I believe he may have swapped wings. Not sure. We'll have to see. Actually, still on the right. My apologies. He did enjoy plenty of space though in that first half, and Australia, if anything, probably favoured that right wing a touch. Looking to attack a bit more, but here come America looking for their third, and the shot just miscued. It almost turned into a cross. It's cleared out for another corner. Looks as though the Pararoos are looking to start this one with a bit more of a press than what they employed in the first half.
A bit higher, Chris. Honestly, we're defending it. We're defending a little bit higher. Whether it's just nerves from young Tim, or tactical. Well, it'll remain to be seen.
We will wait and see. It's America's number 7, Adam Below, standing over this corner. The US did score 1 goal from the set piece in the first half. Again, it's driven in towards the front post, deflected to safety, and for a Pararoos throw-in.
I really don't mind that corner. I think it's one that because they just sort of drill it in there to hope that they get some sort of deflection, and it's actually quite good. I really quite like it.
As we can see, they're just setting up with at least a couple of defenders still in America's half, so they're still keeping that block, but they're edging forward. Of course, it's all on Australia to push forward and try to turn this around, and as this game opens up, it may well favour Pararoos as Boyce again gets stuck in and concedes the free kick. He'll have to be careful. He's the only player booked so far in this game.
Was it him that got booked? Yeah, it was too.
It appears as though we've momentarily lost vision from Spain. Hope to bring back with you though now. America took the opportunity on the break. Australia scrambled well. There were some half-hearted penalty shouts, but nothing doing.
Should have been converted, honestly, Chris. That one was a bit of a gimme.
Big chance.
The Pararoos dodging one there.
Yet again, another corner to be whipped in, and again to be driven towards the front post, and nearly did the job again. In the end, out for an Australia throw-in. Just evaded everyone as that one flashed across the face of goal.
Should have learned from that one, Chris. Should have learned from that. That one was a carbon copy. We knew it was going to happen again. Boys have got to be a bit more switched on.
We did have a stoppage there, may have been for substitutions, but America driving towards goal. Sangers gets down low, and brave work from the Pararoos shot stopper to pounce on that ball. Former Pararoos goalkeeper Chris Pyne loves what he sees there. And yeah, Kai Lammett described Sangers to me as the bravest goalkeeper he's seen, and there was a bit of that there.
Little regard for his body, Chris. And we just saw it there. Had absolutely no regard for his front two teeth, and just put his head right where the feet were. So that's what you need at these World Cups when you're chasing a game. So hats off to Sangers.
Confirmation: USA have made a change up top. Shea Hammond, the goal scorer, making way, replaced by their number 9 in Cameron DeLillo. I believe that's how they started their last game against Iran. So back with that trusted combo. Of course, it ended 2-2 for America in their opening Group C encounter. 2 goals in stoppage time they scored against Iran to snatch a point from the jaws of defeat. Australia went down 2-0 to Iran in what was such a positive performance. They really knocked the ball for the whole second half and were left with so many positives to extract from a game where certainly could have got more from it against their world number 4 opposition. And it's been the same again from the Pararoos today, really taking it to their highly fancied opposition. And here's a chance. The goalkeeper was out off his line.
The goalkeeper going loco.
Yeah. What was he trying to do there, Pyne?
He was going a bit free range, mate. He just sort of lost his bearings and lost his head and just sort of followed the ball, which was quite strange.
There's a chance though for America up the other end and just shielded out for a corner. DeLillo almost making that instant impact. Pressure continues.
The US looking to put this one away. Looking to put this one away early. Strong heads here need to prevail.
Ten minutes into this second half. Matt, have you seen much different from the Pararoos? Do you think there's that route back into it, the way they are playing?
We certainly look like we're ready to get after this, Chris. we've been defending a little bit higher, which has been nice to see. Had some really good intensity out there from young Tim Blowers on his World Cup debut. And I think it's been a little bit infectious for the boys. We've really looking to drive forward when we have the ball, which is really nice to see. And for the most part, I think we've done a solid job holding up the US. Cameron DeLillo coming on now, he's very good at making himself a nuisance and quite a skillful player on the ball. So he'll definitely be something that we have to monitor at the back. But positive signs so far, I think.
Indeed, we are, as we were at the break, and it's been turned over high up the pitch for America, but well scrambled. I believe that was Lavagetta who got a very vital foot in. Australia almost their worst enemy there, as this one comes in from long range and captured well by Sangers, introduced at the interval for Cosimo Cirillo. So all three goalkeepers have enjoyed time so far in this tournament for Australia. It's described as a very competitive goalkeeping stocks that they have, and we've seen it, everyone entrusted with a chance in these first two Group C games. There's America in a bit of space, and Bellew again looking to cause problems. In fact, I believe that was Sullivan pushing forward.
It's those balls through the middle that are killing us. They're just playing. They're playing with these these two at the back, and then someone makes those runs, and then they just play that deep ball either wide or straight through the guts, and it's just murder for the Pararoos at the moment.
Australia on the back foot again as Brunei can't beat Campbell. Those balls out of the back, not quite sticking at the moment. Good pressure though from Campbell.
My call still remains, Chris. He's keen. He's hungry for a goal. He's got 20 minutes.
Still plenty of time for Daniel Campbell or any of the Pararoos to stand up and be a hero. They've got some defending to do here as it's driven in low. Again, Lavagetta gets himself in the way. Connor Bunce up top, just isolated at the moment. Hasn't had much involvement in this second half, the number 10. It's probably been a testament to how America have really worked to get themselves on the front foot. Here they are with another corner. Plenty of set pieces all night. It's been a busy one in the Australian penalty area. Two hands raised in the air, and again low to the front post, and again missed. And that's a great save by Sangers. How has he kept that one out?
I tell you what, I wasn't convinced that he had for a second there. It's a big sigh of relief for me seeing that's not gone in.
We were waiting for the net to ripple, but the Australian shot stopper stood tall, and that could be a big moment, couldn't it, Pyne?
Could be. It's those moments that they don't score goals. They don't score goals as goalkeepers in those moments, but that's essentially a goal for a goalkeeper. It's as good as a goal in regards to the match and the outcome of the match.
United States have made another change with their number 7, Adam Bellew, making way, replaced by the number 11, Jonah Meyer-Crothers.
I think we're making a change here too.
We are, in confirmation of that one. It's Alessandro Lavagetta making way, replaced by Taj Lynch. Matty, you called for him at halftime, and that change has been made. Think he could help Australia get back into this?
Yeah, I think the longer this match goes on, the more we're going to need some real calm, cool, level heads out there. And Taj certainly.
As the shots poked towards goal. And just as Australia made that change, The United States of America have opened themselves out to a 2-goal lead. The Pararoos have defended admirably in this second half, but they were just caught napping, poked home past Sangers, who's been so strong in this second half. And with 15 minutes to play, Australia have a mountain to climb. It's now 3-1 as we head into this drinks break.
Oh, that's brutal. That's brutal. It honestly is. Now it is. Now it is. It's all to do out there, isn't it? Now, Chris, we just have. We were sort of in it just briefly there for a time during the 15 minutes. I mean, if I'm honest, I don't know where those 15 minutes have gone. They have just absolutely flown by. So quality football played by both of these nations. But I think the pressure from the United States finally told, and I mean, in the end, it was a bit of a as you said, it was a bit of a poke home. But however it goes in the back of the net, I'm sure the United States aren't going to care. I care, but I'm sure the US don't.
Where to from here, Matty? Obviously, 2 goals and less than 15 minutes remaining. Surely a chance to throw caution to the wind.
Yeah, look, just as I was trying to make the case as Taj has come on, I think he'll play a really key role in hopefully linking young Connor Bunce back in with the flow of play, getting him involved and getting us some more chances on net here. I'd look for someone like Daniel Campbell to step up, show some individual brilliance, really look to take a couple of players on and really show what he can do here. I think we need cool heads out there, but we need to see a little bit of fire from the boys going forward. Hopefully they can deliver that.
So we're back from the drinks, which came immediately after the United States scored their third. Tough one for Australia to take, but they will fight to the end. And just as we were saying on Thursday night, they really have taken the game and gone toe-to-toe with their highly fancied opposition. A chance to finish in the top 2 of this group, slowly slipping away, but a long way to go still. Here come America. They may smell blood as they cross one in. That one well over Sangers' bar.
Something to look out for here as well. The player that the United States have just brought on, their number 11, who I believe is a new player in the squad. He is a class FT3, which is the least impaired of the classifications in CP football. So look to him to be quite skillful, quite physical, quite strong, and could be one that we need to keep an eye on here for the Pararoos.
Jonah Meyer Crothers in the number 11 shirt, who was just battling it out with Daniel Campbell there, who appears to have dropped into the back line following those changes.
Oh.
There was a good challenge. Blau's got himself in the way.
Is that Connor Bunce making that final thing? He's had a cracker of a game, Connor Bunce.
It was Connor Bunce. I didn't say his name because you wouldn't expect your striker to be back there, but backtracking well, and that was a big challenge.
I'm saying just putting in the 84. 84 being a bit of a team motto, to never give up. So when you hear it on the field, you just keep going and going and going and going and 84. I mean, we don't. It's far too long to explain what of the significance of 84, but I mean, it's just it just gives you that extra spark to keep going, especially when games are here, and especially when you're down and things are tough. So I'm sure there's plenty of 84 calls going on out there, just to let the boys know to not give up and give some of the young boys like Timmy Blowers a bit of a kick and a bit of a boost.
You've got me intrigued, Piney. Give us a little bit more. Why the number 84?
Oh, it was an old Barber tells the story much better than I do. And I think Hearne would. Actually, I'm going to throw over to Hearne here because he would explain it much better than I.
Yeah. So it's essentially just an old hustle play from the film room of the New England Patriots, the American football team, where their number 84 at the time, their big tight end, who notoriously some of the slower players on an NFL field, makes not a game-saving tackle, but an all-important tackle in stopping a touchdown in a game that they otherwise would have lost, regardless. And I think above all, it just sort of exemplifies hustle and hard work, whether or not all eyes are on you, and whether or not it's going to necessarily be to your own personal benefit. It's very much a team hustle mentality, a team never give up mentality, and exemplified on the park every time we go out there by the boys.
Hearne, the big unit ran 90 yards. The big unit ran 90 yards to take out a guy while he was about to score a touchdown. It was an amazing effort.
There you go, and it stuck. During that stoppage, Australia made a couple of changes. We'll hold that for a second as US go for goal, and it took a deflection. 2 more changes made by Goran Stajic, Benny Roach and Connor Bunce, both making way. Ben Atkins in the number 9 shirt has also inherited the captain's armband. He's out there, as is Connor Marsh in the 8. So another roll of the dice as Australia look to pull something off late. This corner fizzed in low once again, and it looked dangerous yet again. Will result in another set piece. Really starting to struggle to deal with these deliveries, are we, Pyne?
Yeah, set plays, guys. I'm sure the coaches, I'm sure Kai from back home will be absolutely tearing his hair out that that's happened on not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, but 19 occasions, because I think that's how many corners these guys have had. You know, it's something that that we've got to look forward to, because now other teams believe me, will be watching this footage and saying, well, bloody hell, we know how to get the Pararoos. So I think that's something that the coaching team need to sit down and really fix, and the players. I mean, the coaches can do so much, but it's at the end of the day, it's the players on the pitch.
As time runs down, the USA still looking to push forward. They've had the lion's share of field position in this second half. There's been some bright moments for the Pararoos, but haven't really been able to trouble Sean Boyle in net. They are applying a bit of a high press here.
Yeah.
It's just opening up. Of course, no offside in CP football allows for attacks like this one to develop, and it's another chance for America. And Cameron DeLillo makes it 4, and that should put things to bed here at the Salou Sports Centre. Just as that opened up, the Pararoos thought they were in with a sniff, and the United States went up the other end. A killer blow from the number 9, who's come off the bench and added a 4th. And with 5 minutes remaining plus stoppage time, the score is now United States 4, Australia 1.
Too strong, Chris. Just too strong. Wanted it more. At the end of the day, just strength, strength and you know, experience there just helped him to wriggle free. And when he was free, he was always gonna go the near post shot, and he did, and he scored.
It might be a bit of room for Australia. It was Marsh who looked to switch it, and it will get there now. The result may be out of reach, but the Pararoos will look to get one back as America come forward again. And you just sense, as Australia commit men in attack, they're just as dangerous when it comes to conceding.
We've got to throw it all now, Chris, don't we?
You
know, it's do or die. You either go down. It's group stage, so it doesn't matter. You either go down, 5-1 or 6-1 or 7-1. It doesn't really matter. If you're chasing a game, you need to go, and you need to go all out. The US looks stronger than Iran. This looks a much more put together side, much more put together performance than Iran. So I'm not surprised that the deficit is a little bit higher here.
Certainly more dominant than Iran were. Australia could have counted themselves very, very unlucky that they didn't get a result from that first group game. This second one may be a little more difficult to argue. It's been America who certainly have had the better of the chances, particularly in this second half. They've had a few corners too, haven't they?
That seems to be the game of corners. And do you think we know what's going to happen, Chris?
Oh, they've gone short this time, so mixing it up. America.
There you go.
Happy to just maintain possession.
Commentator's curse.
Could have done with it in the first half, eh?
Yeah. In all honesty, the result is what the result is, and the result will be, by the looks of it, a United States win. But, geez, the boys can hold their heads up high. We have really taken it to these two much more fancy, much higher, input, much higher, more time together, more time training, and we've really given it to them. So there's nothing. The boys should have their heads well high, because these have been two very, very strong performances, and I think the boys should be very happy with both of them. Although losing both, I think what they can take out and moving forward is super.
There were a few appeals for penalty there. They were waved away by the referee once again. America searching for a fifth. And it's not making excuses as such, but more stating facts. Obviously, a far from ideal preparation in the last few years for the Pararoos compared to America, who have a professional setup for these kinds of players in CP football. Matty, you've played against them over the last few years. Give us an insight into, I guess, how the sport is treated in countries like the US.
Yeah, a pretty famous anecdote amongst our lads is talking about how the US tend to have a staff member for every two players, or maybe even the other way around. They come over with a full convoy of staff and teams, and we were actually fortunate enough to, I believe in 2018, to go over to their Olympic training facility in Chula Vista, and spend a bit of time there. And it's a world-class setup that they've got there, and they spend a lot of time together as a team. A lot of them playing CP football at college level. So yeah, there's a whole lot of funding and access to all different kinds of training and technology that they've got. They're a class outfit, and they always have been, and even now, moving forward, they want to be challenging those Russias, those Ukraines, those top tier teams in the world. And there is a bit of a tier system there. one that we are sort of looking to break into and continuing to, to look to be competitive with these teams. And I would say that for a large portion of this game, we have been very competitive with the United States, which is a massive, massive compliment to the boys, and especially when a lot of these really young guys have spent, the 2 years amidst a global pandemic training for international football, not actually knowing what international football looked like.
As we see, the United States of America do put an exclamation point on top of their performance. In second half stoppage time, it's now 5-1, and a well-taken goal left Christian Sangers with absolutely no chance. And just as we were discussing the class that America have and the background they have, it's really started to shine through now. Pararoos can hold their heads high, but tough ending to this game.
Yeah, super tough result here for the boys. I think we deserved it to be a little bit closer, but once again, nothing really here to be ashamed of for the boys. A lot of young guys out there making their World Cup debuts, and with it being a lot of their first taste of like proper international football. I'm certainly very proud here watching on, as I assume all of Australia will be watching back home. They've performed really, really admirably here. And the result's unfortunate, but still so many positives to take from this. And, moving forward to playing some more teams within the tournament who hopefully we can really take it to and hopefully put up a score similar to this, obviously in the reverse order.
Still at least 2 more games in this tournament for Australia. We'll bring those to you once again right here on the MyFootball YouTube channel. Thanks for tuning into this contest, regardless of the outcome from an Australian perspective. Hope you've enjoyed seeing our Pararoos in action. An undefeated spirit, still going strong.
I think that's curtains.
Just awaiting confirmation. Not sure if that's the final whistle.
No,
Assistant referee just holding back, but gets a player down injured. The referee may take the opportunity for full time. So an American player down receiving treatment as we approach the 4th minute of stoppage time.
Interesting decision here by the referee. You thought he might have just called it there. 64 minutes in, 4 minutes into stoppage time. I don't know how much stoppage time there actually was. Nothing. No real result on that is going to change for a couple of extra seconds. But hey, I'm just a man sitting on his couch watching the game.
A man with almost 2 decades of experience with the Pararoos. Certainly a qualified opinion to have.
Thanks. Thank you, Chris. I tried to keep it as clean as possible.
Yeah, I can imagine. We spoke off air of the challenges of riding every kick, and you guys at home can't see the reactions of Chris Pyne and Matt Hearne, but even that moment where everyone had to hold themselves in once Australia opened the scoring through Connor Bunce, pure elation. Just as much here as there was in Spain. So we are just about ready to get back underway. Time will tell how long we have, but Australia do have a set piece and perhaps a chance at a consolation. It's driven goalwards, doesn't beat the first man. Now almost 6 minutes into stoppage time in Spain.
And still we play.
And still, Australia come forward looking
surely now
for that chance. Referee It's a quick look at his watch, but he's trotting back, and a bit of bonus football for your Saturday night.
Does he know that it's a 30-minute half, Chris?
Fair question. Guess we had drinks breaks, to be fair. Might just be adding on that from both halves.
Well, this gives us a chance to pull a bit of to take a bit of confidence into the next game. Get in here, boys.
That was a good challenge. And Boyce getting stuck in. Maybe
big,
time for one last Australia attack.
It's classy work there by C. Marsh.
So some possession in attack. We didn't see a lot of this throughout the second half, but Pararoos finishing this one on a high note. And there is the final whistle at the Football Salou Sports Centre. And despite a brave showing from the Pararoos, it's the United States of America who go top of Group C. They overtake Iran on goal difference and find themselves in the top 8 of the tournament, or they'll fight towards the pointy end. Pararoos, as we said, fought hard and opened the scoring midway through the first half via Connor Bunce. Following that point, though, in terms of goal scoring, at least, it was one-way traffic. The United States of America with the 5 unanswered goals, a lot of those coming late. And that leaves Australia third in Group C, but they will be back in action with 2 more games. The next coming on Tuesday, the 10th of May. It will be another 8:30 kickoff, Australian Eastern Standard Time, and we could see them take on the Netherlands, or we could see a rematch against Canada, which would be great to see after the Pararoos, of course, defeated Canada 5-0 back in 2019. So that's all in terms of the action here at the Football Salou Sports Centre. The final score, United States of America 5, Australia 1. And we will now go to my co-commentators in Chris Pyne and Matty Hearne. Boys, tough one to watch from home, I can imagine. Tough one to take. Pyne, you were riding every kick, but the second half in the end just didn't turn out to be Australia's day.
Yeah, listen, I I think you said it in the first. I think you said it during half time that our average age of the second half lineup was 21. So Australia need to take stock of, and the Pararoos need to take stock of what simply some of the massive milestones and massive leaps forward that they're taking. There's so much learning for this team to go. There's so much time to master your craft in all positions, really. And 21, I can remember myself at 21, and I can remember retiring at 35, and I was mentally a totally different player. Obviously, actually a totally different player, being a goalkeeper to a field player. But the amount of nous and knowledge and international claret that you can get out there is something that really gives me good hope that the Pararoos have got a very, very strong future.
Certainly a valuable experience for that next generation. Now let's take a look at the goals and all the action that we saw throughout the game. As mentioned, it was Australia who opened the scoring. Connor Bunce with a moment to remember. As we look at the highlights coming in now. Pyne, I'll let you talk us through the opening goal this time.
Oh, look, he's got it. He's got it in his own half. And he's only got one thing in his mind now, and that America are gone at that stage. It's pretty much a lay down Mazer when he gets on his left, and you get him in those positions. He was always going to cut him right in front of number 13. Number 13 had no idea, and the keeper had no chance. Of quality goal, Mr. Bunce, and a quality match by you, son. Well played. Great match. Great goal.
Great performance.
Oh, look at that. Don't argue.
America did. Moments later, though, they did argue and they struck back in quick succession. Matty, what was the reaction at this point?
Yeah, look, really, really unfortunate. I think I can speak for all of us on here saying that we were still riding the high of that goal from Connor Bunce. But brutal to have copped that. Really unfortunate for it to have come off the back of just a little fumble there from Cozzy as well, and then number 14 Shea Hammond took advantage of that. Brutal stuff. Would have been really interesting to see how our confidence would have gone forward had we had a little bit more time to marinate on that lead that we'd taken. But yeah, unfortunate for it to happen how it did. Little fault though for our boys. Really, really unlucky stuff there. And we didn't put our heads down at all. And I think that's super admirable for the duration of the game, really.
Yeah, America certainly struck late. We mentioned that game a few years ago where it was an early show from US against Australia and blew the Pararoos away. It was quite the opposite tonight. Australia hung in there and really did themselves and their nation proud at this IFCPF World Cup game. Another 2 games to come, as mentioned. That's all we have time for tonight, but looking forward to our next game on Tuesday night, 8:30 p.m. right here on the My Football YouTube channel. Our Pararoos will take on either Canada or the Netherlands. Hope you can join us again for that one. Chris Pyne, Matt Hearne, thank you very much for your time. Hope you enjoyed the night regardless of the result.
Absolutely. Bring on the next one.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for having us.
No worries. Thanks, boys. Thanks again for watching. Hope you can join us again on Tuesday night. The final score that we'll leave you with here at the Salou Sports Centre. Unfortunately for Australia, it did end 5-1 to the United States of America. Thanks again for watching and good night.